to be able to leave that job? Like, do you
Yeah.
have savings? Because a lot of people, they don't have that much savings. So if
Yeah.
they quit their job, they're kind of fucked. They have expenses, they have a family. What
Yeah.
do they do?
It's tough, man. It's tough. Well, here's what I did. I kind of just, I knew probably about 4 months before I left that I was leaving. So all my prospecting efforts and everything else, I just kind of stopped. You know what I mean? I was no longer out there promoting myself as an employee of Arthur J. Gallagher. I was still taking care of my clients. I wasn't probably the best employee, but I was just as good as, just as good. Working half-assed was just as good as most of the people there, in my opinion. But you know, you're building a snowball when you're out there prospecting, okay? And I'm selling employee benefit plans. You're building a snowball. And eventually, they come, all right? And I'm dangling, hey, I'm available. Hey, I'm available. Okay. You're not selling a car. You're not going to get it that day, right?
Yeah.
So I stopped planting those seeds and then started them again once I was on my own, knowing that it was going to be a few months before I saw any revenue coming in. I did just exactly what you just said. I had about 5 months of savings saved up, and I started seeing revenue coming in around month three. Month
Wow.
three. And then I also worked side jobs too back then. I was pretty young. I had a side hustle promoting nightclubs. So I was able to make some cash on the side doing that. But it wasn't a lot at that point.
What do you think you would have done if you had like a family, kids and stuff, and you had
Well,
to leave?
I did, man. I had a family. So I was married, and my daughter was a baby. It's funny, man. I always kind of wonder, would I have done this if I didn't get divorced? We got divorced, and then I think as a young person that wants a family, and I think I would have been fine if I had stayed married, staying at Arthur J. Gallagher, because we're getting invited to the gala, or hey, we're gonna go to this charity event with the other guys at the office, and they're all 10 years and 20 years older than me, and they have this great family and wife, and they want us to hang out with them, and I look up to them, and I think I probably, I wonder sometimes if I would have never figured it out because I would have been happy enough in my marriage. Unfortunately, we ended up getting divorced, and it was pretty fucking mutual. The divorce took about 3 months. Hey, fuck you, no, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
Laugh, guys, laugh. No,
No, we actually co-parent very well. She's a great mom, and our daughter's 20 now. So to give you a perspective, but I think we were both pretty young, man. I was 26, she was 22. I think we both kind of realized this was a bad move for us. But we gave it a shot for a couple of years, didn't work out, and now all of a sudden, okay, what's my energy going to be towards? Okay, like me qualifying for the company trip and being able to bring her to the Peninsula Hotel in downtown Chicago, with the other top producers around the country once a year. All of a sudden that shit wasn't good enough for me because I didn't have someone I was experiencing this with. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, well, so it makes you just kind of analyze, well, why the fuck do I even care about any of that shit, whether I have a wife or not? You know what I mean? So I think ultimately the divorce, it didn't push me to starting my own company, but who knows? I might have been complacent where I was had I stayed married. I think. I don't know.
Crazy how that stuff happens.
Exactly. You know what I mean? You don't know.
Yeah. And do you think what was your game plan if it didn't work out? Did you ever think about that?
That's the beauty, and this is good for going back to your girlfriend too, and that's the whole concept of paid training. You work in a freaking industry, man. That this industry, okay? For me, insurance, I leave Gallagher, go out on my own, and fail. 6 months later, I could have got a job back in that industry, and probably given myself a raise from where I was at with Gallagher.
Yeah.
Okay. That wasn't the plan, though. That wasn't the plan. But I think when you have paid training, you could do shit like that a lot more easier and have that safety net.
Yeah.
Well, now she knows.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
And then can you go into detail about starting your business and stuff? I know you mentioned you started it on the kitchen table and stuff, just you, but I haven't heard you speak about how you built the team, the systems and processes behind the business, how you prepared it to exit.
Yep.
So maybe can you bring us through that, kind of a roadmap of what you did there?
So the biggest, the biggest piece of starting out was the fact that I knew how to do everything involved in servicing the account. Okay, I was kind of blessed where there was a transition in account management teams when I was a producer at Gallagher. So it really forced me, I think, in that transition of teams, the ball was being dropped with some service-related things on the account that I brought in. And what I learned was I was able to go pick up that ball and service these accounts. And what I learned was 95% of the difficulty is getting the client in the first place. The other 5% is servicing them. Okay, now don't get me wrong, that's an important 5%. They'll leave your ass. But for me, from a difficulty perspective, it's way harder to get the client in the first place. Mm-hmm. So I'm not going to sit here and let other people manage my accounts that are dropping the ball or just aren't returning emails. Or I'll never forget, I'll get CC'd on an email from a client like a Thursday afternoon. And then my account manager replies back Monday. She was in the office all day Friday. She replies back Monday that she's looking into this. It took you, in my book, 4.5 days, but even 1.5 business days to tell a client that you're looking into it? Mm-hmm. What the hell's wrong with you? You know what I mean? So it forced me to really like learn all the different aspects in servicing these accounts. And the more I peeled back the onion, the more I realized everything I could do. And it all started. So using all of that, when I started my damn company, I didn't need to hire an account executive. I didn't need to hire an account manager. And actually, when I freaking did, it was only because I had enough money coming in where I felt like I should. It was a mistake because I wouldn't let them do anything. I had a woman making like $60,000 a year and let her do anything. Well, actually, let me just take care of this. She's like, "Oh, do you want me to do anything, sir?" And she didn't call me sir, but you know what I mean. Eventually, I did have to scale.